Just a slight anecdote. This is not a parenting anecdote. I want to play this clip of those Just Stop Oil protesters who poured a can of soup onto the glass protecting a Van Gogh painting in London. Just a couple of words. There was we can't quite track down the audio of one of the protesters explaining why she did this. Play this clip, and then I'll reiterate what I heard on the radio. But this is from the moment that they were actually doing it.
And glued at that point, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What is worth more? Art or love? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting? Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
What I heard in explaining why they did this, I don't know which protester it was. Like I say, it was audio, but she basically said, "Look, as much as I appreciate art and I understand why people were upset about it, the fact is that all of the great protest movements in the past have had similar reactions." And she said that she, as a gay woman who I believe maybe she had mentioned that she was married, or I can't remember exactly what rights, but she was conscious of that she had because of protesters who came before her. And she went on to talk about the UK subsidizing oil, much in the way that we do in this country, and some of the specific policies that were taking place in the UK. And I just happened to hear that on the radio this morning on the AP, which was, I listened to the radio in the morning to get a sense of that stuff. And I thought that was pretty good. I'm walking Saul to school. He is a 9-year-old kid. And we're on the way to school, and just out of the blue, he says, "You know that guy who cut his ear off, the painter?" And I'm like, "Van Gogh?" And he's like, "Yeah. Did you hear about that? Somebody poured soup onto a picture of his?" And I'm like, "I did hear about that." And he goes, I don't think that's right. I don't think you should do that to art. It was I was sort of shocked that, like, it was like, it's it is an important piece of art, and an important piece of art in history. And I'm like, what? And, but we ended up talking about climate change, talking about the British policies in subsidizing oil and how we do that here. And at the end of that, I said, that art was not damaged at all, which he did not know. But I don't know how you can make an assessment that protest was not incredibly effective, because I can assure you that I have never had a conversation like that with my son that he instigated and was willing to listen to for more than 30 seconds if I had instigated it. I mean, I hear stuff about, like, the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie that's coming out, or you're not going to believe what happens in the new Spider-Man. 4 different Spider-Man show up.
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry. But that is there. I mean, name a more effective protest that we have had in this country, or I don't know if in this country within like the past year or two. I can't come up with one.
You're supposed to get people talking. You're getting 9-year-old Saul talking about it, right? I mean,
Yep.
that's
No violence.
no violence.
In the end, really no damage. I mean, somebody sent me an email saying that the security guards there, claim that there may be, the museum may have to spend $100,000 on a new security to prevent that from happening. I don't know if that's the case or that's an exaggeration, but you know what? take it from David Koch or whatever billionaire you're getting your money from the museum.
I know.
That $100,000 at the end of the day, if it takes $100,000 to have a kid 6,000 miles away at age 9, bring it up to his parents, money well spent.
Yeah.
Money well spent.
These kinds of museums are not short on money or benefactors for people that want to contribute and things like that. They have $100,000.
You know what you can do? Sell one of your paintings.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I found that pretty impressive.